Welcome to another edition, this time Wednesday's card from Doncaster. We've got a preview of the races shown live tonight on Racing Post TV. It features the British Bred St Ledger, two semi-finals there. We saw the heats last week, but we're going to kick off with the first race. It's an A2 grade event over the 483 metre journey. I thought this was a really tough race. Slightly favoured Dingy's Ronaldo. John Sharp's moved his string gradually across from Sheffield to Doncaster. This greyhound stays pretty well. It's not completely devoid of early either. Got a kennel mate making her debut on the inside in trap 5, Sharpie's Lightning, but she was sort of A3, whereas Dingy's Ronaldo was more an A2 stroke A1 dog at Sheffield. It's not the strongest of A2s. Staying types on the inside, Ballymat Brook, who's a slow breaker. Heathlaw Nelly improved, but she's significantly up in grade now in box 2. And there's a little bit of pace from 3, Cossard Wonder, and 4, Penny's Endeavour. The price of Dingy's Ronaldo I thought was around about right. And in the end, I decided that it was a no bet. But if it did go out to 3-1, I might just play trap 6. Very, very small stakes. In race 2, the 628, I thought this was a tough race. It's a B2 contest. A couple of unknowns as well, in that Lightfoot Patel, although has got experience here at Doncaster, has a couple of away days at Sheffield and got a couple of stopped run-ins and stopped half and stuff like that. So that was a kind of a watching brief. Slippy Doreen probably warrants being favourite in box 2. She's 20 weeks out of season for Jimmy Gaskin now. She did win a couple of runs back when sent off a short price, and she did beat Nola's White Sox, who's again drawn her inside. But she just needs too much luck in running for me. I think Nola's White Sox will dominate on the inside. Middleton Hayes is a greyhound. She can hit the lids and go into the turn. She'll cut the bend somewhat. Sharpie's Met Roman. He had his debut effort last week, and he slipped at the start. And it ended up that his kennelmate Johnny the Hawker renews rivalry here from box 6. He actually won the race. I don't really think there's too much of a confident selection enough here. Sharpie's Met Roman would be just a token selection, I think, at the price of around about 4-1. But again, a no play race. In race 3, a B4 grade event, there's no early in this race. A lot of stamina. So it could all be on the break. And if one of these turns in the pitch, such as Penny's Rascal, I thought that Penny's Rascal could nick the race. Not devoid of early, not always the best of breakers, mind, but as I say, because there's not a lot of early, he could get into the contest. And around about 11-2, I just thought I had a really tiny bet on trap 3. Alien Mirage is a dog that could be prominent. Nan's Breeder's got to get round Alien Mirage in trap 5, although she's running well, but slightly up in grade now. Eda Gold, another one, got every chance. And Moss Panda up on the inside. He's a bit of a rogue. He's had plenty of races. He needs a bit of luck in running. He's, again, a strong running type. Jack's Bandita is 1 from 24 in trap 2, and that kind of tells the story there. So all in all, weak race, B4, real tiny bet on trap 3 in the third. At race 4, a tricky enough race. I sided with Rosanda Katie, but she's about a 9-4 chance, and I made it that she's been short 3 times out of her last 4. She doesn't win every time. She was beaten at odds on last summer and then reported lame. So she didn't get beat that far, but 17-23 shows she's in pretty good form. And again, Sean Parker brings his greyhounds back in excellent fettle. Mina Mill on the outside, waiting to see this one improve for Jimmy Gaskin, not quite turning the bend as well as might be expected, and has got that kind of pace up on the inside in Rosanda Katie. And Funny Margaret is another one that can trap. So I thought there could be a bit of a race to the bend, and I wasn't confident enough that Rosanda Katie would definitely get the clear run. So at 9-4, I ended up passing a bye. Race 5 is the first of the British Bred St Ledger semi-finals over the 661 metre. Good true test of a 6-bend greyhound. And a lot of these met. There was 4 qualifiers from the heats last week. So Romeo Blade in 1, Worsborough Kingman in 2, Moments of Magic in 4, and Romeo Wright all come back in the same heat once more. Moments of Magic was a strong selection last week, only on the fact that I thought she would dominate. I wasn't convinced she would stay 661, and I think she only just does, looking at the evidence of last week's heat. So I did side with Afton Pixie, who was the faster heat winner, quite significantly time-wise. And she's been well found in the market. She was kind of slight odds on 11 to 10 and into 10 to 11 now. And I was just, again, slight odds on myself. So I've missed any kind of value, if you like. She did bounce back out on the Matchbook Exchange. And I might just have a small bet on Afton Pixie to win the first heat, race 5. Race 6, this is the first of the play races for me. I was quite taken with Romeo Wildcat. He's got a great draw here because Snooty Rose, who did us a favour, she did dead heat, but she was a big price last week when we put her up, but we got a bit of profit out of her each way. Romeo Wildcat, though, has got a great draw because she'll move in the 5. I just thought he was a bit unlucky at the turn. I made him around about a 5 to 2 favourite, and he was 4 to 1 in the earlies. I think he's still available there. So anything 3 to 1 plus, he'd be a little bet for me there. And I've just got to get my money back because Snooty Rose is 15 to 2, and she just got stopped. She will cut in, but if she gets a clearer passage than she did last week, then she'll get first dibs, maybe at the front runner, Mahuna Jap, who could claim the inside, but looked a little bit vulnerable in the closing stages. So 6 on top of 5 in race 6. 7th race is the first of the sprints, and this is one of the bigger bets tonight. Crooks Hercules continues to run well, just hit a rich vein of form throughout November. Completely either missed a kick, got crowded at the start, or stumbled, but that wasn't his true running. And he's already beaten on the booze on his inside. He took the bend much better than on the booze. So trap 3 here, around about a 3 to 1 mark. I thought that was a real decent bet there. Trap 3, Crooks Hercules in race 7. On to the 8th and another sprint. And again, I've played here. Knockout and Power, I thought had moderate form at Pelor Grange. Wasn't sure about the head carriage, but to be fair, all he's done since he's come here to Doncaster is improved. I think he can claim the rails here. Rocco Ladd's going to give him all sorts of room into the turn. Timahoe Sally was the only danger for me there, so I'm going to bet 1 around about 7 to 2 and save on Timahoe Sally around about 3 to 1. She's just had a bit of a break. She's 19 weeks out of season, and it was a decent enough trial back. So that's the good play race there in race 8. 9th race, tricky enough. B4, we go over 450 metres. Fahi Queen can smash out the boxes. Winnie the Blues, an interesting runner, now switched to a wide draw. Did trial out the wide and clocked a 28.31, and that would be good enough. So if she could clear Rosanda Bess into the turn, would put herself into the race. I thought Rosanda Bess was some kind of runner. She stays on nicely. Should get first jump on Civil Jack, who's another slow breaker who keeps on. Kid, you're not been running that great, but has a decent draw. And Swift Jasmine, I thought, was a bit poor last time out, and I was quite prepared to take her on. So a tricky enough race. Maybe fancied 5 and 6 there, but to no great confidence. In race 10 is the lowly B7. Last week we stuck up Luna Jet, and a lot of these were beaten behind Luna Jet, who was a really good winner. Beat Eden Bolt 5.5 lengths, but Eden Bolt beat the rest of them. I did say that was the only other runner last week. And I just think Eden Bolt is a straightforward bet here, around about a 2 to 1 chance. I think probably will go off around about even money, even shorter. Kangaroo Kelly's going to make the market. This one's switching back from sprinting and didn't look the soundest of characters. Obviously, had problems for Kenny Everett, but is very hit and miss at the start. Relies on a break, moves in a little bit on the run up. So I just think we just need to get a clear run with Eden Bolt, and I'm sure we'll be collecting. In race 11, a B6, tricky enough race this. Trap 4, Trapper Millie making debut. Moosey Max in trap 3 is up in trip after sprinting. Luna Jet, we mentioned that one. That's up in grade, 18 weeks out of season, though, so could improve again. And on the leadability factor, has got some kind of squeeze. But at the prices, I couldn't really find any value. On to race 12 then, and a really nice race this. It's a B2 grade event to round off proceedings, but a good B2. I keep waiting for Ragtime Lenny to get into trap 1. And again, once more, he's got trap 2. So I'm going to just have a really small bet on a fast, youngish, unexposed greyhound trap for Ardera Boss. Not always the best of breakers, but did start against Ragtime Lenny around about 4 runs ago and was really, really impressive. Missed the kick last time, showed all sorts of speed and got chin right on the line. So around about 11 to 4 mark, I made him a little bit shorter than that. He has got that Achilles heel of not starting, but I couldn't resist a bit of the 11 to 4. So let's have a look then at the list of bets that we got for tonight. Of course, you can log into Matchbook, use the watch along code. If your first bet of £30 is a loser, then you get your money back. In the 736, that's the first bet. Trap 6, Romeo Wildcat in the 661 metre heats there, or semi-finals, and save on Snooty Rose, just a small play. Fairly confident selection there in the 756 Trap 3, Crooks Hercules in the sprint. Another sprint, 817, I'm betting 1, Knockout and Power, and also probably slightly winning with Timoho Sally in 4. A confident selection, the 854 full unit, 1 point bet at 2-1 Eden Bolt, would take even as low as 6-4. And in the 928, small bet on Adera Boss to round off proceedings. Hope we find a few winners, and we'll see you at the weekend.